Hey, good morning. Welcome to Romper Room. I'm kidding. In more ways than one. Hey, I want to start off by doing my Romper Room thing and saying hello. Just let you know how much I appreciate you and touching base. And and when I hear from you consistently, I love our small group, but if I don't hear from you consistency, I'm thinking, are they okay? Because this world is such a crazy place. So I'm sending out prayers and hugs. So I want to say special hellos to Anna. Anna, you're so far away from me, and so's user PG. Y'all are so far away, and I just want you to know I think it's great that you've joined and interacted, and just want to say hello. And Vanessa, hey, don't forget, Vanessa has a channel. You might want to check her out, especially if you're Christian or you're, I think, a single mom. It might be comforting to also watch her videos. And Diana, Carmen, Linda, Carol, Dinah. I have so much fun answering and with Diana and Dinah. I love our interactions too. And Rose, of course. Her channel is growing, and she is doing the things to make her channel grow. You gotta check out Rose, over 70 makeup artist, I think is what it is, and she's an angel. Denise, oh, wonderful little chit chats. Flower, I hear from Flower every once in a while. So I want to say hello. Rainy, I love it when you touch base. You get my sense of humor. I haven't been very jovial lately, but I feel like that's going to change with this weather. So we have, and Bernice, hey, I love hearing from you. And just heard from Judy recently and Ava Rose. So hello, that's awesome. Welcome aboard. To a couple of newbies, and just want you to know I just love our group. I love how we can support each other and touch base. Oh, Patricia. What is her name? Does she have a channel? I just want to say hi to Patricia too. Welcome, and know that I appreciate you sharing very much. I have a couple different Judys. That's awesome. There was someone else I wanted to say hello to. I haven't heard from BX Gal in a while. I hope you're doing all right. There's a couple new ones, which is awesome. I just love that. All right. I'm done looking at this. Oh. Because my memory's so bad, I try to keep track with a couple little notes. I don't write anything too extensive. Just, for instance, I had a new person join. Now I have lotion on my hand, so I'm not going to look at the name, but you know how terrible I am at names. That has quite a story. And every once in a while, I like to also send out prayers. So I just write down how I figure out your first name in your ID. And then put down kids. And then one word to help me remember, like not talking. Okay, 2 words. Or travels a lot. Or super sweet or funny. Nothing intimate. It helps me remember. Especially if you're sharing deeper things. And remember, if you want me to delete your message, just put, at the end of the message, just put delete message or DM or whatever. That'll be our little code. I don't mind deleting messages for you. I figured out how to do it. Anyway, weather's been crazy. I've been trying to move more, playing music and just dancing around the house. Been trying to not take, you know, sometimes we just take things so seriously. I do. Sometimes I just take my mental health or my physical health so seriously. I'm stressing myself out, which is the worst thing you can do for your health in the first damn place. God. But I've been cutting back on all that. Just realizing I'm getting older. And because I've led such a stressful life, although I've enjoyed a lot of it, tell you the truth be known. I wouldn't have had it any other way, that's for sure. I fought tooth and nail to get the adventures that I wanted, and as well as the results I've wanted. Has it all always turned out my way? No, but I'll tell you what, I would have run away from home to get it done, which I have. And some of you might relate. You know, sometimes we ask God, God, please help me. God, please help me. And then a choice arises if we look at it, if we think about it. But what do? Open mouth, insert foot. Or we go right ahead and do whatever it is, or whoever it is, because we wanna. We think we deserve it. Brats. Well, maybe not you. But I know a lot of people who come in to see me know exactly what I'm talking about. They might look away or blush. Oh, but they know what I'm talking about. We are stubborn, hard-headed. Stubborn and hard-headed. Yes, ma'am. I've got this little cyst that keeps coming up right there. Looks like it's a little pink today. I'll have to put a hot compress on it later. It's just this little cyst. it's actually let itself leak out before, like kind of like a zit. You know how like a little baby cyst does. But it looks like it's irritated now. Guess I must have made it angry. I don't know what I did. Maybe I'll put something on it. I don't know. Okay, so is there anything you've done lately that proves you're hard-headed? You know, part of recovery, whether it's in Alcoholics Anonymous or if it's in, this is a thicker foundation, but once it's on, and I try to plug it in, all the little, I have what's considered large pores, so I kind of like push it down in those little holes just for fun, just for some nice coverage. You know, so, and I think that's a lot why it's important when we're trying to repair our lives is, on one hand, not take life so seriously that we stare at it, you know, our life experiences. But on the other hand, be intelligent. And you can't be intelligent unless you do some research sometimes. Right? So that means taking a look. Don't stare, but take a look. It's not about shaming. It's about taking responsibility. There are people who refuse to take responsibility. Don't let that be you. I try to not let it be me. I do know that. It's kind of hard to do sometimes. So if I'm mad because my spouse is lippy or shuts down or has negative facial expressions, I have to ask myself, how do I respond to that? Do I say, what's that about now? Right? Or do I say, nothing, and slam the door? Now, this doesn't just go with the spouse. This also goes, you know, at work, or with the kids, or with the neighbors or roommates, whatever. Or do we say, I get the feeling you may want to say something, and then if they say something smart, or if they share something with you, you have to stay as neutral as possible, because depending on how you respond to that, it may be digging the hole deeper, or it could be a chance for them to feel safe enough to open up and share something. And if you shut them down, then they'll be like, that's why I don't talk to you. I know, it's maddening. But if we don't take care of and take responsibility for how we engage in our world, in our environment, nothing changes if nothing changes, right? And one of the things with people who are in recovery, whether it's from drugs and alcohol whatever you're recovering from. Crazy relationships, anger. I would have called myself a rageaholic for a while. Especially when I got at the end of my drinking, or at the beginning of my recovery. God, I was so mad because my life had sucked for so long. And now I didn't have this big wad of cotton between me and the rest of the world to help me feel numb or make me feel better or put me in a position where, when I drank with certain people or parts of certain groups where I felt, a little more like a sense of belonging. People drink for lots of reasons. Drinking filled a lot of my needs. If you didn't grow up with a family or protection and you could find a group of people who offered you that, why wouldn't you go for it? That's why we have a lot of gangs in the streets. A lot of people have a need to belong to something. That's why you have a lot of people who are loyal to certain bars. They kind of subconsciously make the people in that bar, their family, and that bar building their house, their home. Home away from home. Yeah, I know. And some people do it with shopping. Like the mall is their home away from home. They're spending money at the bar, they're spending money at the mall. Yeah, shopping therapy was another one of my addictions, especially early in sobriety, because I just didn't know what to do with all that stress, and shopping was very exciting for me. I could go and touch and see and try on, and it was just, I'd spend a whole day in the mall. Yeah. And one of the things I've always done, I continue to do, but not to that degree at all, is if I find something I like, I buy them out because I don't want to run out. I don't want to get home, which I have done, get home and think, oh my God, I love this. This fits into my life perfectly. I'm going to go get another one. They're gone. So I learned, buy them up. I had clothes in my closet with tags on them for years. I've had certain items kind of go bad. The elastic gets dried up, starts turning yellow, things like that. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get it down in my eyelashes. I know people put it down in their watermark, but our bodies absorb everything we put on them to a certain degree, right? If your skin's alive, not your nails, things get in there, absorb like a sponge in there. Your hair, you can't heal it once it's dead, but it's still a sponge. Like a sponge is dead and it's going to absorb things, but you're not going to make it come back to life. That's how I look at it. But when we come into recovery, or we decide we're on a new spiritual path, which is like recovering from the world. Recovery isn't just a word I use for people who have had an addiction. I use it for people who have decided they want to recover from the stress and agony of the life they were leading, Loneliness makes us do weird things. anger makes us do weird things. So sometimes we need somebody to help us find value in ourselves. That's what I was talking about yesterday. That's what I talk about half the time. Value, self-value. What are we valuing? If we're not valuing ourselves. So now I know why this was so inexpensive and why they're not going to refill it. The first couple times you use it, it is heaven. But it is perfect the first maybe 3 times you use it. And then after that, it's more like your pen's starting to dry up. So I'm going to store it, make sure I store it this way instead of laying down. Maybe I'll get a few more uses out of it because I really like it. So anyway, back to you and me. We have to kind of sometimes decide how much pain we're willing to be in. I'm just going to dab that eyeliner so it helps it make sure it's dried up, because it just doesn't look as good as it has the last few times I've used it, and I don't know why. Maybe I had too much moisturizer on. I don't know. I'm going to dry it up. So we have to decide how much pain we're in. So I had a success yesterday, or well, a client had a success. I've been preaching about tapping for a long time, and she finally tried it, and I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled because it worked. Of course it works. If you want to know about how to reduce anxiety really fast, if just talk therapy or visiting doesn't help, you gotta try tapping. There's all kinds of videos on YouTube about tapping, and you can do it on your body as you're saying what you need to say, and they'll follow along with it. But you can do that. I was taught to just do it on my hand by skipping the middle finger and saying a certain little, stress relieving sentence that was real, that was true, not false affirmations. That's what I was looking for. And I'll tell you what, it really helped reduce my stress, my anxiety, helped reduce my PTSD. It's a type of, in my opinion, it's a type of EMDR, and it's free. Well, it wasn't free to me because I had to pay for therapy to get that information, but it was worth every dollar, because I'm telling you what, the childhood trauma that I had in relationship to my mom, oh my God, I thought about it. Even I didn't know how to control. I just, it's like you can hear and read and help other people, but then you go home and feel like an imposter, because either you can't control your own shit or you continue doing your own shit because you think, you just don't have a way to control your own behavior. And that was me. So I had a lot of mental stress going on, right? And I think some of you know what I'm talking about. It's like you can be successful, have a great resume, and still feel like an imposter because you're not taking care of your own shit. We don't feel like an imposter if we're actually living our life in the way we're presenting. That math doesn't add up. I've actually had people fight me Well, there's no reason I should feel like an imposter. It's just anxiety. It's just this. It's just that. A string doesn't float up without a balloon at the top. It's physics. Come on. People are so stubborn. They want to feel like a victim of floating anxiety. Well, anxiety is always caused by something. And if you think it's a mysterious disease, I just think you're adorable. There are very few people who are actually born with the chemical imbalance that makes them have a certain mood disorder or personality disorder. Most people are not truly born like that. They're created. Just saying. And the way I was thinking, and the way most people think, creates stronger neural pathways as we repeat those thinking patterns. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go put a little flat iron to lift this up off my face a little bit and then call it a day. Hey, I love you guys. So if you try, please give me some feedback. If you try stop thought, change thought. I'm thinking something terrible or frustrating, and so I'm going to stop thought, and then I'm going to think of blueberries. Or I'm going to think of digging a hole in my yard to plant some flowers. Stop thought, change thought. Very helpful. The other one is tapping. Get on YouTube and find some tapping scenarios. One of my clients told me that they found some, thank you. They found some good ones on Spotify. I'm not familiar. YouTube is the only social media I do besides my neighborhood app. Okay. Love y'all, and I'll talk to you later. Okay. Bye for now.